Our digital producer is Dylan Mietinen. Our engineers are Brian Allison and John Brewington. I'm David Brancaccio. It's the Marketplace Morning Report. From APM, American Public Media.
Good morning. This is meteorologist Russ Murley with your WTJX local forecast for Friday, December 13th. Partly sunny with spotty showers, 85 to 89 this afternoon. North winds at 10 to 15. We'll see a few spotty showers, middle to upper 70s tonight. Partly sunny, spotty showers on the way tomorrow.
WTJX 93.1 Charlotte Amalia, your NPR station in the Virgin Islands.
Of the on-air participants and do not reflect those of the station's board, management, staff, or underwriters.
And good Friday morning, and welcome to another edition, another end of the week edition of Analyze This here on your NPR station in the U.S. Virgin Islands, WTJX FM, with yours truly, Neville James. Gorgeous day, really lovely outside here in paradise, and looking to wrap up another week of conversation, morning conversation, and education as well. Been an educational week in that regard. So, we got some events happening this weekend. So let's get right to it. Good morning, young lady.
Morning, Neville. How are you?
Very good. So introduce yourself to the audience.
I'm Nadia. I'm here with the Croix Christmas Boat Parade.
Yep. What year is this? We know?
26.
26? Wow.
Imagine that.
Yeah. That's to be commended. Tomorrow afternoon.
Tomorrow afternoon, December 14.
And it has grown immensely over the years.
It has.
Why do you think so?
I think the community has really rallied behind the event, and so now it is regarded as one of the top family events in St. Croix for the holiday period. The boaters enjoy it, the spectators enjoy it, the shop owners and vendors enjoy it. There's a little bit of something for everybody.
Yeah, go right ahead. Give us all the details and let the public know why tomorrow night.
So we will start with entertainment on the boardwalk. The Mocha Jumbies, of course, the Guardians of Culture with Willard John. There will be R&B Connection providing some tunes. The St. Patrick's Steel Orchestra will be on the boardwalk. Santa and his elves will show up. And so all of that will start at around 3 on the boardwalk. Our boat parade, the boaters will be in place and ready to go as early as 6:30, and that will be immediately followed by the fireworks.
Talk about the committee and the group of organizers. I know Sal Sanperry sent out a letter letting it be known that he can be easing his way to the side. So talk about all of your hard work. And
our fearless leader, Sal, has been going through some health challenges over the past couple of years, and he decided that it was time to transition to someone else to take the lead on the committee and planning. In place, he left some seasoned veterans in the execution of this event. So Willard John, Rafael Janos, Joel Urita, Charisma Eileen, Trish Rhodes, who worked with Sal for over 15 years in executing this, Dara Hamilton, who manages the judges, and myself. That's our core committee.
Now, you said 26 years, but I think Renaissance is a good word. The Renaissance of downtown Christiansted, the casino opening up in 2016, that played a part in how people look forward to being in downtown Christiansted as well.
I know.
And giving a lift to the boardwalk area.
Yes, and a couple of nights ago during our boaters meeting, Sal mentioned Larry Kupfer as being one of the first sponsors for the event, in addition to him. And I didn't know that. And I think that was directly related to the activity, the refinery being open, and, the boating community probably having a lot of employees from the refinery. So we're excited. We still continue to enjoy support from Ocean Point Terminals, and we hope that will continue as well.
That is an example of why and how businesses being in business, operating, could actually impact not only other businesses, but events and things that you might want to do in a small area, a small town like us.
Absolutely. We rely on that. I mean, the people are the most important piece, right? The second most important piece would be the boaters. And you do want to make sure that activity continues. And, with that in mind, we are hoping to focus on supporting programs that will encourage youth in sailing, youth on the water, captainship, all of those things that will require a little bit of training, education, but experience on the water. And I think, we don't see enough of us locals involved in that industry. So that's going to be one of the focuses for us for next year.
Christiansted Restaurant and Retailers Association are part of this?
We hope this year, with the support of the government, that they will become a sponsor, financial sponsor. We work closely with Kamal and Mr. Ridgway and Mr. Hodge to make sure that we are supporting the retailers in a good way. And so they're an ad hoc participant, right, but not necessarily intimately involved. Okay. But there are several other retailers that we work with, intimately. For example, Nathan at Crucian Gold, he is really passionate about the event, just as we are, and helped direct our banners this year and has some input in some advertising and street closures and all of that. So we appreciate the support from everyone who provides it.
Well, you mentioned street closures. Talk about the logistics there. If we're advising folks when we come into Christiansted, what's the best way to get into Christiansted? Now, I know this is a seawater event, so King Street going to remain open all the way?
It should. It should. And there will be a notice that we'll provide later today once Nancy visits with the police about areas that will be off limits. We will make accommodation for the vendors a little bit earlier in the day and then close off Strand Street, I think, from maybe 3 o'clock. But Nancy will have the details on that. Okay. Good morning, Trish.
Morning. Good morning. How are you?
I am wonderful.
Glad to have you here. Happy holidays.
Thank you.
So tomorrow night, excited?
Oh, you bet we're excited. Oh, my gosh. We are going to have such a good time. We got 5 barges of fireworks. I'm going to go clear customs on them right after I leave here.
Introduce yourself to the audience.
I'm Patricia Rhodes. I'm the president of the boat parade, and we are just very happy to bring Christmas to St. Croix.
No, we were talking earlier. This is your first go around officially as the president, handing over, or with Sal officially saying that he's gonna.
No, I've actually been involved with the parade and the president for about 15 years.
In the capacity as president.
Yeah, we had this discussion. I said, no, I don't want to be president. Sal, you be president. He says, no, I'm blind. I can't read the contracts. So by default, I'm the president. Yes.
Okay.
And Trish just mentioned the barges. I forgot, to mention before, Ricky Dean Andrews, and he's in charge of all of the logistics for moving the fireworks and organizing the safety. And we rely on him a lot for support and success of the event. Thank you for saying that, Trish.
Oh, yeah, and absolutely. And the person that will actually be moving the barges is Roger Charles. And he is extraordinary and is so kind to help us every year. I think he's putting his boat in there, too, in the parade.
He will this year.
Talk about the security component and why it's so important that the logistics for everything associated with the event have to be in place and in order.
Well, not only are we wanting to ensure the boater safety, there are pedestrians that we care about and want to make sure that they have a safe, enjoyable time. But a large component for the event is the fireworks, and that requires a fire escort, police escort, security whilst it's in place at the Gallows Bay Dock. And the shooters need to be skilled in executing the show. We also have to make sure that the boaters in the bay are not affected by the fireworks because those are explosives. So it's a huge responsibility, and we take that very seriously. So we work really closely with the Coast Guard, DPNR locally, fire and police, and our rescue team.
Yeah, Blue Lightning will be out there, too. It takes a lot of people for the security. It really does. And they work very hard. We've also got the ham radio group is going to be with us this year for logistics and to make sure that the communication doesn't break down. Sometimes the telephone is overloaded and you can't really communicate with each other, and the radios with all the music and everything is very loud. And I mean, it's a parade. It's fun.
It's actually a weekend of parades because we've got Miracle on Main Street happening today in St. Thomas, and they got boat parade. They incorporate that in the Miracle on Main Street as well. So I just learned that last week that we actually got 2 back-to-back days of boat parades here in the territory.
I saw an article on that. I thought, interesting that they're now going to have a boat parade. I'm glad it's not coinciding on the same day as we are, because we hope soon that maybe boaters from St. Thomas and the British Virgin Islands will come over. Trish and Raphael had some conversations with folks over there, so that's something to look forward to. And we don't want to compete with our sister island, St. Thomas.
No, well, they've actually had boat parades incorporated in Miracle on Main Street when I spoke last week with the leadership. So the territory, we're island territory, and it's ideal. It reflects, a significant part, of who we are and our demographics.
Yeah.
It would be wonderful. We were hoping in the future that maybe we could send a couple boats over to their parade and they would send a couple boats over to our parade. It's just such a wonderful family event.
But it's also tight, though, with the logistics.
You aren't kidding me. Ask Raphael.
If you got boat parade in St. Thomas and then you got to work your way over Saturday morning to be in St. Croix, you know what I'm saying? So,
right.
Oh boy.
So that would be significant. How are we getting young people involved in this? How are they playing a role now, and what role do we want them to play? Because at some point, we want y'all to be going to the parade and just enjoying yourselves and not having to worry about the boat parade actually going off.
Well, we've got a lot of entertainment all day. Willard has scheduled the Steel Pan Band, St. Patrick's School Steel Pan Band at 3 o'clock. And I think there's a rock and roll band starting at 4.
Mm-hmm.
That's closer to the mill that they'll be playing. And then the Moco Jumbies are at 5. Santa Claus comes to town at 5. And and then the boat parade starts at 6:30. We're just ready to have a good time.
We did have the Boy Scouts Troop 7227, I believe, for years assist with cleanup and selling peanuts and all of that. And that troop is not active right now. And so we're hoping that the school that sponsored them will reinvigorate a new troop. But in terms of involving the young folks, we are, needing to recruit mentees, I should say. So we will work on that for next year. Right now, we are the young people.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about Christiansted now, because a year ago we were having some challenges. I mean, just to be nice, right? It's the holiday season, and it was there was some infrastructure work being done. That is not the case this go around. Are we looking at a pretty much straightforward
Yeah, it should be
situation between now and January 6th?
I'm hoping so. I think everything is going to go pretty smooth. We do shut down the streets like a jump up, and that's because we have vendors, and it's going to be just absolutely lovely. And if you want to be a vendor, you call Nancy at Glass 2000, and Nancy will make sure you've got a spot to be a vendor. But as logistics go, it'll be like a jump up with the streets.
That's good. Now, the two big events associated with Salwood Kalan is this event and the 4th of July fireworks. That's IO, right? That's the same group?
We do the fireworks when we can get it done in Frederickstead.
Yeah.
But if there is a cruise ship, then we can't do the fireworks. So this year there was a cruise ship on the 4th of July.
So there was no fireworks?
No,
or we didn't do it in Christiansted?
No, Frederickstead is where we do the fireworks.
Okay.
But off the pier, I mean, we can't be within 1,000 feet of a cruise ship. Yeah. So because we had a cruise ship, we could not do the fireworks.
Wow.
Seriously, that's they have rules, man.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I'm not knocking the rules. I mean, all that stuff, but from a scheduling standpoint.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Wow. That's unfortunate. But it was what it was.
Yeah.
So
even to shoot them off land.
I'm familiar with that. Because they would from the legislature when they would wrap up on Carnival or Saturday night after the parade in St. Thomas, they would be the proximity from the boat where they would be shooting off the fireworks. You know what I'm saying? So I'm familiar with that. I didn't know that we lost the fireworks tradition / opportunity because of economics and safety with the cruise ship in Tongue and all that stuff. So I was just going through my mind just like, wow, from a planning standpoint, didn't they know or, oh well, that's history. We'll focus on tomorrow and the boat parade. So after the boat parade, anything else going on in Christiansted throughout the season, because the holiday season is when we have a lot of activity, a lot of folks coming back home. I know we got a Cruise and Recon parade. A Cruise and Recon breakfast. I don't know if that's on for this year, the date and all that stuff, but this is really a time where our culture really comes to the fore, and the Christiansted Boat Parade is a part of that. The folks who actually boat and folks who actually live on the water. This is their time, and we want to support them as much as we can. We'll take a break, come back, talk some more about logistics and all that stuff associated with a highlight of the Christmas festival season here in St. Croix, the Christiansted Boat Parade, and the Christiansted Waterfront. Be back right after this.
Thank you.
WTJX, your NPR station in the Virgin Islands, is underwritten in part by Bank of St. Croix, offering Elevate Checking, a mobile banking app, and direct deposit. Online at bankofstcroix.com. Bank of St. Croix is proud to support public media in the Virgin Islands.
I'm Aisha Roscoe, host of Weekend Edition Sunday, where we're not just interested in what's going on in the world, but why it's happening and how. Details are important, so are different points of view. We're dedicated to bringing you the stories behind the big events and the small ones too. Join us every Sunday morning for Weekend Edition from NPR News.
Weekend Edition, Sundays at 9 a.m. on WTJX FM 93.1, your NPR station in the Virgin Islands.
Did you know that Medicare pays for many preventive and wellness services? With Medicare or a Medicare Advantage plan, services are available to prevent or detect illness at an early stage. Screenings and tests are free if your healthcare provider accepts Medicare. Services include a Welcome to Medicare preventive visit, exams, shots, lab tests, and screenings. There are also programs for health monitoring, counseling, and education. For more information, contact the Virgin Islands State Health Insurance Assistance Program in the St. Thomas St. John District at 340-774-2991, extension 4507, and the St. Croix District at 340-773-6449, extension 3151. Beneficiaries can also call 1-800-633-4227 or visit www.medicare.gov.
And we're back here on Analyze This. We're talking with Ms. Nadia Bougouneau and Patricia Rhodes. Mm-hmm. R-H-O-D-E-S.
Correct.
Patricia Rhodes. What's it? Rhodes Scholar, right?
That's right. Spelled the same. Yes, sir.
Spelled the same, right? So we're good. So I want to give a shout out to Marcelina Ventura Douglas, because she did send me the Virgin Islands Police Department traffic advisory for the boat parade in Christiansted.
Thank you, Marcelina.
And the Soup Festival down in the west. So here we go. All right. Virgin Islands Police Department will be enforcing the following parking restrictions and road closures for the upcoming events: the Limerick Park tree lighting, St. Croix Boat Parade, and Soup for Your Soul Festival. That's in Frederickston on Sunday from 1 to 6. The tree lighting is in Christiansted tonight, right? No parking from Prince Street to King Cross Street from 1 p.m. to 11 p.m. Okay? Now, Prince Street is Catholic Church extended down into Watergut, right? And King Cross Street is from where Ebby's used to be on the corner there, heading down towards Holger Dance, down to the hotel. So those are the two streets that we're talking about. So there's no parking, right, from Prince Street to King Cross Street. Now I'm assuming that this is on King Street that they're talking about. No parking, right, in that block from Prince Street to King Cross Street. St. Croix Boat Parade on Saturday. It's a little bit more comprehensive, right? Saturday, December 14th. No parking on Queen Cross Street. That's Government House Street. From Purple Papaya to Caravel from 6 a.m. to midnight. That's 18 hours. No parking. Okay? On Queen Cross Street. No parking on Queen Cross Street between Strand Lane and King Street from 11 a.m. to midnight. Okay? So that's 13 hours. Another no parking on King Street from the Florence Williams Library to the Christiansted Fort from 11 a.m. to midnight. So traffic will be redirected. If you're coming down on King Street, when you get to the library, you must take a right and head up King Cross Street between 11 a.m. at midnight, which is 12 a.m. And then no traffic will be allowed to pass east of the library from 12 p.m. to midnight. So that's 12 hours. Okay? So you can park on King Street from 11 a.m. to midnight, right? You will be allowed to drive through King Street from 11 a.m. to noon, but beginning at noon, there'll be no traffic from noon to midnight tomorrow. So the police department has pulled out all the stops in the name of safety, right?
Yes, absolutely. And the amount of deliveries and the setup of the vendors and the Kid Steel Pan Band. Yeah. I mean, we don't want anybody to get injured because we've got, traffic when we probably shouldn't. Mm-hmm. It'll be very similar to a jump up.
Just an extended amount of time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, well, a little bit extended, yeah.
That makes sense. Better safe than sorry, so we support this, right? So I'll go through this again sometime later on. But this is significant.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And it's important. We want to support the vendors, and we understand it may impact the retailers, but we appreciate their understanding and cooperation as well.
Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to figure this out. King Cross Street from Florence Williams Library to Christiansted Fort. No, that's King Street. No parking on King Street. Queen Cross. So what it's saying is if you come into town, you can go down through Watergut.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
No, I hope the road them good, cause that's some of the worst roads in Christiansted down there by Hulgadans, right?
I know they've since put a metal plate over that large pothole.
Okay.
So it's better. It's not fixed, but it's better.
Mm-hmm. So you could come down through Watergut and navigate your way back up to King Street until you get to Strand Street. Then
correct.
That's the corner of the government parking lot. Mm-hmm. Then you must take a right and head back out. Heading
correct.
west now on Strand Street, right?
Right.
Correct.
Okay, good. So that bottom section, that Watergut, that heart of Watergut section, you can navigate there. If you're coming from the boardwalk, right? When you come off the boardwalk and you're heading down into town, you can head, that would be north, until Hill Street. Then it's a two-way until Hill Street. Hill Street then becomes a one-way heading south. So you must take a right at that particular point. And then when you get to Queen Cross Street, you could navigate your way through the upper part of town there by the marketplace and all that stuff. You can make that circle, right?
You can.
Yeah. And actually, traffic will flow on Company Street. So you're
correct.
all right.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
And Company Street is a one-way heading west.
Correct.
Right?
You're going out of town.
Going out of town from the Fort Christians Ryan, heading out of town. So you could access the whole upper part of Christiansted like you normally do.
Correct.
Right?
Exactly.
Right. The restrictions as it relates to the east-west traffic begins on King Street. Right?
Yes.
Okay. And the east-west traffic restrictions begins on King Cross Street, which is by the Florence Williams Library, right? So the area that's going to be restricted is everything between King Street and that whole corner that we'd call that the Cruzan Goal area there,
correct.
the Florence Williams, Cruzan Goal, everything.
Correct.
Right? Heading towards the boardwalk from there, right? Traffic ain't happening. So you'll know from now. And it's an extended period too. Okay? A lot of it going to be stopped at 11 a.m. and in one instance midnight. Yeah.
The parking's
I mean,
restricted
started at
in
midnight,
front of
noon.
Molly's and Caravel and all of that because the vendors are setting up there. So it's restricted from early in the morning, but you can drive back and forth.
Yeah.
And then it's 11 or noon, I don't know, when we're actually closing it off. But I think it's middle of the day, middle of the morning, to allow the vendors to come and start offloading and setting up.
You know, you bring up a good point, right? So traffic, hold on, the traffic will be allowed in the morning time until
Correct.
until 11 a.m.
Correct. It's just the parking period that's extended to allow nobody to be in the way of the vendors coming at 11.
Okay. That's a good point. So there's a distinction between parking and traffic. Okay.
Correct.
Okay. Trish, you want to say anything?
I want to say that I'm very proud to be part of a Christmas Island. We have, I think it's 20 events the month of December. Travel and Leisure has made us number 9 on the planet for places to travel to for Christmas.
Nice.
Yeah, we're fantastic. I love it.
That's good. So I was bragging. I had a conversation with Lorna Nichols and Eddie Bruce over there in St. John. You know, we got a lot to be proud of here in the Virgin Islands. With Trunk Bay being the number 1 beach in the world.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
It is. I mean, I live on St. Croix, but I'm proud of that. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause,
absolutely.
That's
it's us.
That's us. You know what I'm saying? And we need to start doing things. You know, if they could recognize the beauty of a Trunk Bay in St. John, and we know that all the islands have something to bring to the table. There should be more recognition of the different things, the different areas that exist throughout the territory. Let's talk a little bit about that. I know we're here to talk about the boat parade, but there's so much we can say about the boat parade. Let's take advantage of this time to talk about why we need to pat ourselves on the back a little bit based on some of the natural elements and beauty that make the Virgin Islands what it is.
Well, who can say anything about this beautiful water? I mean, my goodness, I'm looking out your window and I'm seeing the waves break on the reef, and it is lovely calm out there. Thank you, Jesus. I'm really thanking you, Jesus, for that one, and crossing my fingers for tomorrow all day. But we just have so much. We are so fortunate. I don't think that ocean gets under the temperature of 79 degrees.
Not easily. It's easy to come to work in the morning.
Yeah,
when you have this vista as inspiration to do that. We got we got a number 1 beach in the world, but we got great beaches throughout the Virgin Islands.
Well, I was about to say, you know, there's a lot of people who are Crucians and speak with nostalgia about what Christiansted and St. Croix used to be like long ago. You know, even before the refinery was a mainstay of the economy. But I'm thinking about Buck Island, Sandy Point, our conservation for corals and turtles, and there is, you know, a sense of pride in terms of the culture that is in St. Croix. And not only that, I mean, we have such a nice variety of you know, different culinary delights. I mean, we have some really skilled, young, innovative chefs. And so I think that's something that's unique and intrinsic to St. Croix. And people come for, obviously, nature, but to experience the culture and the food.
I had a conversation about that during the week. One of my friends from St. Thomas was choking me and because I tell you, St. Croix is the culinary capital of the territory, and
right?
He tell me, you know, we need to have a we need to have a competition to really find out if that's the case. Now,
boy, here we go. Let's do it.
So I had him to know. I didn't say I believe St. Croix is the culinary
we know
capital.
it is.
I said I know.
We know it is.
So good morning, Keith Richards, my good friend from St. Thomas. I just got a text message from Amy DeSorbo. She said, want to remind me in our community that the Florence Williams Public Library is open Saturday from 9 to 5.
Thank you, Amy.
Right. In the boat parade is and open 9 to 6 Tuesday to Friday. So for those who might want to come into Christiansted, and I'm a big proponent of our libraries and what they did for me and for my age group, and of course we didn't have cell phones when I was growing up, so the library was very, very important and necessary, and we're trying to bring back the purpose and understanding of why supporting our libraries is important. So she said, I'm proud of my friend Nadia for stepping up. Boat Parade is a huge undertaking. Nancy does a great job with vendors too, and have a great day. So you got a fan club.
That's awesome. Thank you, Amy. She's doing a great job at the library.
Oh yeah, that's good. So
and we have an underwater national park.
Yeah, man.
I mean, who has that?
You know what I'm saying? We got that. I was talking with I forget who I was talking with. Might have been yesterday. One of my guests, and they were talking about snorkeling over there at Cane Bay, and we got so many different things that you could do here in the Virgin Islands and throughout the territory. So, Trunk Bay being the #1 beach in the world,
and golf courses. We have some of the most beautiful golf courses.
Caramel is a joint. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, and, Terrence Trent Jones golf course.
Oh yeah,
man.
Yeah, man, yeah.
We're rock stars.
No, we and Water Island. The Water Island project that they were looking at some 10 years ago. They had actually incorporated a
golf course.
For those who were staying on Water Island, they would actually helicopter to St. Croix to play golf at Carambola.
Oh, nice.
That's how high end they wanted that to be. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah. So we are, there is vision. Execution. That's been a problem, but there are some visionaries out there that are trying to make this thing work for all of us. So let's wrap this up. Details for tomorrow again. Boat Parade. Second Saturday in December. That's etched in the annual
like that.
calendar.
The second Saturday is always Boat Parade.
That was Boat Parade.
Much after that, you're playing with fire with the weather.
That's right.
And people travel. The people, they have boats and stuff. And if it's too close to a travel date, it just dwindles down the amount of participation.
No, it makes sense. So, and once something's established, that's a good thing anyway. Boat Parade starts at what time tomorrow?
6:30 on time.
6:30 on time. That's the actual Boat Parade, but we got a lot of activities before that, right?
Right.
Starting
we got this 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
Yeah. Steel Pan Band, Rock and Roll Band, Santa Claus, Moko Jumbies.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just all kinds of stuff.
No, Trish. I want you to pronounce it correctly. You live here long enough. Moko Jumbi.
Moko Jumbi.
That's what. Not Jum. Moko Jumbi.
Jumbi. Okay.
You got it.
Okay, finally she gets it.
You're so good. Moko Jumbi. Even though it's 2 words, we actually connect it together. Right? In pronunciation, when enunciating it. Moko Jumbi.
You would have thought Willard had straightened me out by now.
Willard is a good friend of mine, so I enjoy teasing him, you know what I'm saying? And Willard is an icon.
Oh, yeah. He is.
Let's just call it for what it is, you know what I'm saying? So we good.
He certainly does a lot.
And then after the boat parade, the parade lasts normally from 6:30 to about
8 o'clock.
8:30. You're still going to have activities. The boardwalk will still be jumping, right?
I think it will be. A lot of places are organizing private parties. Family groups are getting together.
And people like peas in Christiansted.
Yeah, it's a fun time.
We are actually the largest single-day event on St. Croix.
That's what I'm talking about. I want to thank both of you for making some time to join us this morning. Miss Nadia Bougouneau and Miss Patricia Trish Rhodes for the Christiansted Boat Parade. Take a bow. You deserve it.
Thank you, Neville.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
You got it. And happy holidays once again to you and your family and friends and all that stuff.
Thank you. Same to you.
You got it. We'll take a break. I'll be back right after this.
This is your VIPD Commissioner Mario Brooks asking you to work with us to ensure a safe celebration while keeping our traditions and culture alive for Croix Christmas Festival 2024-2025. It's simple. While attending events, if you see trouble, notify the police immediately. If you know you're coming out to cause trouble, save yourself the time. Stay home. Festival is not about fighting. It's about family, fun, and fete. Drinking and driving is not acceptable or safe. If you're going to drink, be sure to have a designated driver. Don't provide opportunities for those with bad intentions. Park in well-lit areas and walk in groups when possible. We want you to enjoy each and every event from start to end. So talk to your friends, cause one mess up and the event will be shut down. The VIPD asks that we all come out and have safe fun from sunup to sundown for Croix Christmas Festival 2024-2025.
Hi, I'm Peter Sagal. You spent the week listening to the news. Don't you think you deserve to show off what you've learned on Wait, we give you a chance to impress your friends with your knowledge of international incidents, political gaffes, and the latest advancement in German nudists. You'll be the life of the party. Or the death. Either way, you'll make an impression and you can thank Wait, Don't Tell Me from NPR.
Saturdays at 1 p.m.
With the problems that we face, and we can all be involved with the solutions.
So what have we achieved in 2024?
Join us for a special look back at the year, exploring the game-changing solutions, exciting new trends, and global breakthroughs on our journey to a sustainable future.
Tune in December 18th at 9 p.m. on WTJX TV channel.
You know, the holiday season ain't gonna happen without me at least one time. I think this is the second time I play Janelle, the great Janelle. Classic Green Christmas, you know.
Santa Claus came riding by, puffing and puffing with water in his eye. Santa Claus came riding by, sweating and fretting with water in his eye. Santa boy, you're looking old. No, Johnella kinda missed the goal. Tell me what you want this year. I'll bring you anything from anywhere. I don't want a white Christmas with plenty of snow. Give me a bright Christmas with Stephen and Calypso. Because a white Christmas is something I've never seen. I want my belly full of fun, plenty music, plenty sun, and a bright, bright Christmas of green.
You know, the reason why I enjoy playing that, because when you think about it, it's some just beautiful lyrics. You know, I know we focus on music and all that stuff, but you know, you're talking about Santa, you're looking old, and Santa said, no, Janelle, this is mystic gold. Just think about that. Wow.
Santa cleared his throat to speak and told me my request was unique. Santa, this is the West Indies. The lowest we get is 70 degrees. You yourself don't bring your sleigh, Santa, when you're coming down this way. I know that it breaks your heart to swap Rudolph and the gang for a donkey cart. I don't want a white Christmas with plenty of snow.
Wow.
Give me a bright Christmas with Stephen and Calypso. Because a white Christmas is something I've never seen. Oh no, I want my belly full of fun, plenty music, plenty sun, and a bright, bright Christmas of rain.
He said, Santa, I know it break Rudolph heart because Rudolph can't manage a donkey cart, right? You know, sleigh. is a donkey cart. Oh my gosh, the great Janella. I mean, this is classic lyrics.
Tell me, why should my Christmas be white? Nature made it sunny, green and bright. Why should I dream about snow? Jack Frost, sleigh rides, and mistletoe. My Christmas is cold and warm. No blizzards, no freezing storm. Santa, bring me a case of rum, a sweet bread and a nice song in steel drum.
Oh my gosh.
Want a white Christmas
Wow.
with plenty of snow. Give me a bright Christmas with steel band and calypso. Because a white Christmas is something I've never seen. I want my belly full of rum, plenty music, plenty sun.
And a bright Christmas of green. Wow. He said, just give me some crucial rum and sweet bread, man. You know what I mean? Yo, seriously, I know we get caught up in the music and all that, but sometimes just listen to the lyrics and one could just imagine the time that is put in, you know what I mean, to synchronize the bars and all that stuff so you could get all the words in. That's the great Janelle with Green Christmas. You know what I'm saying? And we you know, for those of you who don't know, originally born in Guyana, spent some time in England, but home was St. Croix. You know what I'm saying? And we want to give a shout out to the great Janelle. You know what I'm saying? What we're going to do is we're going to call the weather service. We haven't spoken to them for a couple of days to find out what to expect for the weekend, because we got a weekend full of events beginning with tonight with the Limerick Park Light-In. I think we're going to be talking with the Limerick people in a little bit, Limerick Park people. The good people from the Limerick Park. And then the boat parade tomorrow, and then the soup festival in Frederickstead. Also on St. Thomas Miracle on Main Street, which is pretty much an all-day thing. Very taking place down in Charlotte, Emily. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good. We got the weather service on the line. Good morning. Who am I speaking with?
Good morning. This is Manuel Ramos.
Manuel Ramos. Buenos días.
Buenos días.
¿Está bien?
Bien, bien.
Okay, good. Felicidades.
Likewise.
No, I like practicing my Spanish. Don't hold it against you whenever I get an opportunity.
Really? Oh, that was pretty good.
How's the weather in San Juan? Because it is gorgeous in the Virgin Islands right now.
Well, here it's starting to clear up. We've been having showers moving through the whole island.
Yeah, we had morning showers. We had morning showers about an hour and a half ago, but it's good now.
Yeah, pretty much the same story here. Showers in Puerto Rico have already moved through the southern half of the island, but there's more in the Atlantic. And with these north-northeast winds, they're being steered towards us.
What are we looking at for today and tomorrow and Sunday?
Yeah, we'll continue with this, let's say, up to variable weather pattern. There's a trough near us in the Atlantic that's generating these showers, and under these north-northeast winds, they're basically being steered towards us. So right now, as you said, there's not anything right now, but in the surrounding waters, there are some passing showers moving east, west, and south of St. Croix. Right now, there's nothing strong north of you guys, so you'll have a little break. But we expect that during the overnight to early tomorrow, Saturday, winds will start shifting and become more southeasterly. So showers will then be steered from the southeast towards us. So then you'll probably get a better chance of those passing showers tomorrow morning.
Okay. And after that, what about tomorrow afternoon, evening, and Sunday?
And we expect this same pattern to continue, as this it's a surface trough that's gonna pass through the islands and switch that wind direction. So we expect that southeasterly flow to continue basically through the weekend. So it'll continue steering occasional showers through you guys and us, of course.
Okay, so it's going to be typical December weather. Showers in between the dry season as we head towards the dry season.
Yeah, exactly. And with southeast winds, it might be a bit warmer.
Okay.
Southeast winds always bring a bit warmer air from the Caribbean.
What are we telling our boaters and our beachgoers?
Yeah, we have a small craft advisory, actually. It'll be up for the whole weekend, but it's for the Atlantic waters. So anyone that wants to venture, from St. Croix up a lot north, way north, we have a small craft advisory for the Atlantic waters, offshore Atlantic waters, and for the waters near northern Puerto Rico. For the Caribbean waters, we do have exercise caution statements, just, winds up to 20 knots in some areas, and seas generally up to 4 to 5 feet. So exercise caution statements for the Caribbean waters and small craft advisory for the Atlantic waters, basically.
Okay, good. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
For letting us know. Enjoy the weekend, and we'll talk with you on Monday.
Okay. Have a good weekend.
You got it. That's Manuel Ramos from the Weather Service down there in San Juan. I was just looking up some Janelle information here because we tend to take for granted just how special their contributions are to us here in the Virgin Islands. And that Green Christmas, that Crucian Christmas is really a classic. Another classic, right, that you're going to hear a lot between now and the Christmas season, especially between now and Christmas, The time flying. Only 12 more days until Christmas, But when you hear that flute and that banjo with the percussion and all that good music in the background there, you know what time it is, right? Only one song like that. That's great. Standing at 10 sleepless nights. Morning, Casey. And when edgy voice is another classic voice. Oh yeah. This one. Hey, Gillos. How's everything, man? Make sure you take care of Stanley. You know what I'm saying? The hard time. So like over 50 years old now, That's how significant Stanley and the 10 Sleepless Nights are. Over 50 years, early 70s, probably even before that. You know what I'm saying? But I listen to this genius and the flute. Yes, sir. Just absolutely special music this time of the year. Yeah. You could never get enough of this. Never. Oh, Bronco. Oh, give a shout out to my what going on? I know I mentioned Casey earlier, but we definitely want to. Hey, how you doing, man? We got Shamari Moorhead joining us, our town Frederickston. Gonna be with us for a little bit, and then we get Olympic Park folks, because they got a light thing going on this morning. Good morning, Shamari. How are you?
Good. How are you doing this morning?
Very good. I just playing some Christmas music. I played Janelle a little earlier. I was just playing some Stanley.
Okay.
I had a big event Wednesday down in Strand Street.
Wednesday.
You had an event down in Frederickson.
Port Authority?
That was Port Authority?
Yeah.
Okay. How that went?
It was good.
It was good, right?
It was good.
Nice turnout?
Not as much as I expected.
Wednesday, because it was a Wednesday, I think? Or?
Yeah. We had 2 cruise ships in town. So
okay.
They enjoyed the festivities right until they left at sunset.
Okay. So they make arrangements for them to stay a little later.
Yep.
Yeah. So
it's a busy time in town.
Yeah. How OTF doing?
Doing good, man.
You got event next week Friday?
Next week Friday, the 20th, from 6 to 10.
6 to 10. That's the Rhythms.
Rhythms at sunset.
Oh, sunset. Who they on?
This time we got R&B Connection and the 10 Sleepless Nights.
TSK. And I just got a text message. 2025 will be their 55th anniversary.
They've been doing this a long time.
They're older than you.
They are. And I always tell, Stanley that I admire his youthfulness, his drive to be doing this, getting up at
the wee hours.
The wee hours, even for the serenade, to be doing that and then doing.
Well, the wee hours really is a late night into the man. I think that man probably cranking up like 10 o'clock.
I missed a couple of them because I was like, I can't get up.
No, sir. Yeah.
But it's good to see them doing it, man. It's really good. I love to see that we have, KC is involved, so there's a new generation getting involved in the tradition.
A younger generation. Yeah. KC ain't new no more. KC old.
He's old, but he's half their age.
No, that's my guy, man. He's also a repository for knowledge, man. When you're talking about knowing everything as it relates to music, what have you. The last Rhythms at Sunset went well.
Very well.
Yeah, that's Mr. Peters was on with us, right? Howard Peters?
Yes. Yeah, and he was actually playing last night too because the Caribbean Museum has second Thursdays.
Yeah.
And so they had a Joa last night in town. So,
okay.
It's good to see that, almost every week there's something happening in town.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be doing that for a couple of months. If you have second Thursdays in town with Caribbean Museum, third Fridays with Our Town Frederickstead.
Okay.
There's always live music in town.
No, so the Caribbean Museum, Our Town Frederickstead, and FedEx starting to crank back up, right?
FedEx starting to crank back up. They have a new board.
Yeah.
A younger board. Well, most of them are considered younger. So they're getting ready to kick back up, in the new year. So there's gonna be a lot in town, a lot happening in Frederickstead. I'm really excited to see the energy. We've got a lot of volunteers who've signed up to help us with stuff. So we're gonna be doing more with our outreach and our community involvement.
Okay, good. We'll take a break. We got Shamar Moore here from Our Town Frederickstead joining us. Be back right after this.
Sometimes you need a moment to just step back, relax, and listen to your favorite song. I'm Raina Duras, and on the next World Cafe, maybe I can help you find something new to love, or maybe remind you of something you've been missing. There's so much music out there to enjoy, so take a moment, take a breath, and tune in to World Cafe.
Weekdays at 10 p.m. on WTJX FM 93.1.
On Masterpiece.
Born a slave in Jamaica.
Look how adorable the little one is.
Taken from my mama. My missus called me Marguerite, but my true name be July.
Slavery, that dreadful evil, will be finally abolished.
They won't rise against us.
dance to no lash.
This island ablaze.
This be my story.
The Long Song on Masterpiece.
Tune in Thursdays at 11 p.m. on WTJX TV Channel 12.
Good morning. This is meteorologist Russ Murley with your WTJX local forecast for Friday, December 13th. Partly sunny with spotty showers, 85 to 89 this afternoon. North winds at 10 to 15. We'll see a few spotty showers, middle to upper 70s tonight. Partly sunny, spotty showers on the way tomorrow. Temperatures 84 to 88 degrees. There's a slight chance of a shower tomorrow night, upper 70s, and partly sunny with a continued risk of showers on Sunday, 85 to 89 degrees. Rip current risk will remain moderate today, particularly on north-facing beaches. Explore the best of regional cuisines from around the country on Movable Feast this afternoon at 4 p.m. on WTJX TV, Channel 12.
WTJX 93.1 Charlotte Amalia, your NPR station in the Virgin Islands.
And as you know, it ain't just one Stanley classic that gonna be permeating the territory and the airwaves. Yeah. You know, Shamari, what I like about the Quail music, they don't keep it simple.
Yeah. It's I love music. You know, I grew up on music. I used to play trombone and keyboard, and I'm a collector, so I have a whole lot of TSK CDs.
Yeah, man.
I have a great uncle that used to live in Boston. That was his one thing. Every Christmas he come home, he had to get a new TSK. And for the time Thanksgiving hit,
yeah,
he started playing his. If he can't make it down to St. Croix, he stopped playing his music.
Yeah, the album actually recorded in 1990.
Oh wow!
Yeah, man, and that's a classic.
Yeah,
that's a classic. You know, so they're looking at a 35th year anniversary next year for that particular Christmas album. Which I remember when it hit the streets, you couldn't get enough of it, man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And back then it was mostly cassette.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Yeah, so
you had your cassettes.
Then they moved to CD and all that stuff. But that's and Quebec music, and that's how it was. You know, we got to promote it every time we got a chance. You know, so I go that. You know, I was talking throughout the week, just for speaking with the folks for the boat parade. That Trunk Bay, #1 beach in the world designation, that's big for the Virgin Islands. That's something that St. Croix and St. Thomas actually need to use to promote our respective islands. And let them know that the #1 beach in the world there in the Virgin Islands.
Yep, I was listening to your show and you're talking about that.
Yeah.
It is huge. You know, Trunk Bay. I haven't been in years, but it is.
And then when you look at it, you can see why it's #1.
It's a beautiful beach. It's impeccable. Man. It's calm waters almost all the time. You know, we've done a great job of taking care of it, and we just got to promote it. We got to promote what we have as well here. Encourage inter-island travel. You know, I know a lot of cruise ships who don't even make it to St. John. So trying to find ways to make it.
They were beating up on me because I ain't been there in a while. So Eddie Bruce would knock him in, rightfully so. So I go make my way over there. But when
I was there this summer, I went for Panorama.
Okay, yeah.
My oldest plays with Rising Stars, so they were over there. So
okay, that's what I'm talking about. You know, when they could define you, and they said Trunk Bay is the quintessential Caribbean paradise. You don't got to say nothing else after that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And it's an incredibly soft sand and crystal clear pool-like waters. You just mentioned how calm it is. You know what I'm saying? But what truly distinguishes Trunk Bay from other Caribbean destinations is its setting within the stunning Virgin Islands National Park. You know what I'm saying? So, maybe there are instances where we don't pat ourselves on the back enough. This is one here, and we need to do that.
Yeah.
And by doing that, you get to expose the other beaches in the Virgin Islands. You know what I'm saying? And
I always tell people one of the things that we don't do a good job of is, marketing the good thing that happens in the Virgin Islands.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about the good things that happen. We spend so much time, criticizing and looking at, all our issues, but there's a lot of great things happening in the Virgin Islands. A lot of great people, a lot of, exciting opportunities. I'm an opportunity seeker, right? If I see a problem, I see it as an opportunity, not necessarily a problem. So, it's like you said, we got to pat ourselves on the back and take advantage of all this good here.
And then it's also a science class because they said, right, the team that put this group, this is Travel and Leisure. They say the team added that the beach's unique location means it's protected from the Caribbean trade winds, right? And, quote, resulted in calm waters that are perfect for swimming. You know what I'm saying? So we know what the trade winds, we know the benefit of the trade winds because it keeps us cool, or historically, right? They kind of been backing down for the last decade or two.
Know.
You know what I'm saying? That we used to feel that trade wind coming right because we're the southernmost part of the Virgin Islands, so we would get the first impact of the trade winds. But in this case, the trade winds, because of its location, is protected from the trade winds, which allows for it to be protected. So that's a good thing.
And keep it kind of feeling a little warm throughout the year, because I know, like, now I'm so used to the heat that this time of year, I think it's cold.
It's cold? I mean, you think it's cold? It is cold at night.
But when I lived in the States,
at night,
I would...
that's freezing.
I would love to come home and go for a swim in December.
Yes, sir. That's a whole different world.
But now that when you're here 24/7, my stepmother makes fun of me. She's like, y'all go to the beach in December?
Yeah, man. Yeah, January though.
She's like, I don't go to the beach that time of year.
And January colder than December.
Yeah.
So you're talking about marketing. We actually have a beach port in Frederiksted.
Yeah.
Right? Why we don't market that as such? You go walk off a cruise ship.
Yeah.
And within 5 minutes, you could be in the seawater.
Yeah.
Right there, so bathing. If you want to take a soak, it only take 2 minutes because you hang right.
Yeah.
You go take a soak right there to the right. But if you want a full beach experience, just walk past the fort and go by the ballpark and you good to go.
Yeah. And tourists love it.
Yeah. If they love it, they live for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So why do you think, let me ask this question. And we can get to, because you said it's an opportunity, not a problem. How do we go about marketing the Annie Robinson Pier, the Frederiksted Port, as a beach port destination?
One, I think is visuals, right? I was talking to some folks at tourism about this the other day, and in reference to, like, the Frederiksted Mall, and I said, hey, we have to do visuals, right? People are very visual these days. Our brochure is not enough to cut it. We need video, we need audio, we need pictures, we need to promote that stuff. So whether it's commercials, whether it's, social media ads, whether it's, YouTube ads, we have to start showing videos of this stuff. So my oldest is doing drone videos of Frederiksted and its beaches.
Okay.
And I'm going to start to use that to promote Frederiksted and what we're doing over there, because looking at what he's done, I'm like, man, like, it's like you said, you go off that pier and you walk to the left or to the right, you've got an opportunity to just...
That's a beach port, man.
Crystal clear water.
Yeah, man.
When Ubasoka was here, those folks were, on the beach. They went up and down King and Strand Street and jumped straight into the water.
That was an incident-free day, man. Everything went good down there.
It went well.
Okay,
it was exciting.
That'll be my biggest concern. You know what I'm saying?
No, it was great. I actually saw two friends from college. that I hadn't seen in years.
Yeah, man.
You know, one of them came up to me like, Shamari. And then another guy bum rushed me, and I said, I couldn't even see. I look up. Some of my frat brothers from Boston. I was like, what y'all doing here?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I like that.
Never expected this to me. So
nah, man. They know you live here?
They do, but
it
just didn't click like we're going to St. Croix.
Yeah.
I have somebody that's coming in next week on another cruise that I went to college with. She already told me, she's like, hey, I'll be there on the 18th. We're coming on a cruise to St. Croix. So again, this is an opportunity to promote, and encourage folks to come back, because when they see it and they enjoy it.
Now, I know the Port Authority has relationships with Royal Caribbean or whatever. But other cruise lines come there as well, right?
So yesterday there was a Carnival ship there.
There's a Carnival ship there yesterday, right? And then I think I had taken some photos, because I had to go down there and park up on Strand Street and just soak up. In particular in the morning when the sun there east, right? I go down there and just cool out.
Yep.
And I saw it was a Disney ship? No, it was another one. That's a beautiful.
It might have been a Princess.
Yeah, it might have been a beautiful ship, and so should we? We can't depend on tourism to do everything.
Correct.
Right. So should we be the ones contacting the cruise lines directly? And then I'm gonna look now. Could you look at us being that beach destination, that beach port?
I mean, I think definitely getting more involved, especially when there's things like Florida Cruise,
Caribbean, Florida Caribbean and Cruise Association.
Yeah, the FCCA, when they have their events. Getting more of us to go to these events and participate in those conversations. I think for St. Croix on a whole, though, it's the complete package, right? So not just coming to go to the beach, but what do you do beyond the beach? And that's one of the things that we're trying to do at our town first, is to get more businesses in town. So when folks are walking around, right, you're done with the beach, you want to go get something to eat, you want something to drink, you want to shop for a little bit. What else is there to do in town besides hopping on a taxi? Or for those who get on a taxi, here are all of the opportunities. You can go tour some historic sites, you can go check out 2 distilleries, like the entire package, right? So a lot of times folks are like, there's not a lot for those to see on St. Croix, but in the 8 hours that they're here, you can there's probably not enough to get done in 8 hours. Because, actually, I said that wrong. There's too much to do. You can't get it all done in 8 hours.
That's what one of my listeners just texted me. It says Sandy Point is exceptional, but the hours too limited to be enjoyed by all.
Correct. Sandy Point does have extremely limited hours.
Yeah, man.
But even just that, as a walk, right? If you said, hey, I get off the cruise ship at 8 and I spend, 2.5 hours at the beach, I go grab some lunch, I do a tour, it's time to go back.
Why we can't get one of them big bus that I don't see on 7th and 8th Avenue with the top open?
Oh, yeah.
We need at least one of them there. Yeah, man.
That's there's one park that was a Petit Nap across from, what's that guy in St. Thomas? He has a red one on the waterfront. There's a restaurant.
Yeah, a Petit Pom Pom.
No, that's the restaurant on the dock. But across from that,
Posse bus stop. Yeah. That's a smaller version. I talking about the one that when you walk in on 34th Street, and you can see is a school bus that they retrofitted for tour purposes. We could use one of them there.
But again, I think it's getting more of us in the community to get involved in what's happening. I once met a lady on a flight back to the States, and she was from Ohio, and she did a cruise, and she was telling me that, she loves St. Croix, but she just wished that she had a chance to meet more Crucians. She's like, I went to St. Lucia, and I got on a boat with a guy named Tiger. He called himself Tiger Nose, and Tiger was flirting with us, and he took us out, and he had this really strong rum punch and this and that. And, she and her girls felt like they were teenagers again.
Yeah.
And she's like, St. Croix was nice. We went on a boat, but it wasn't the same vibe, right? How many Virgin Islands are involved in the cruise industry, in the boating industry?
That's what we need, man.
In doing the tours, right? We're not all there. Taxi drivers are, traditionally much older. On St. Croix.
Correct. I know a couple of them who might be younger, but they're even younger. They're like middle age. You know what I'm saying?
Correct. I could name a handful, right?
Yeah.
But everybody else.
That's a good point. You know what I mean?
And I actually talked to one who wanted
to get them
kids.
involved in that, they have to know that there's a financial return. That comes with that commitment.
I actually talked to one who, he has two or three vehicles, and he actually went to the high school and he said, "Hey, I would give you the vehicle if you guys want to come out and work in this industry, and here's what you could make after maintenance and repairs."
Mm-hmm.
It's in the six figures, and they said they don't want to drive taxi.
No. Well, that's a
six-figure job.
That's not wanting to do something is really a national problem.
It is,
and a whole heap of different areas
correct,
of need.
Yeah.
So at some point we got to figure it out. But my thing is, I know tourism has their role to play, but there comes a point where, we got to step up now and make some calls. What I mean, like some decisions about how we want to be reflected.
Correct.
It can't just be tourism making that decision. We need to be players in that decision making as well.
It definitely, you're right. I actually just even was looking through some stuff from OTF last week at a meeting, and just looking through all the documentation that they have in the office that was done by a nonprofit, not even the government. They got property surveys of every single property in town. They got pictures that I had never seen before of these buildings, who own them, everything. Again, work being done by non-governmental institutes. So whether it's private sector or nonprofit sector, you had people who were doing things that didn't rely necessarily on the government to make it happen. And we need to keep doing more of that, right? When you look at all the activities, Jump Up, that's a nonprofit. The Rhythms at Sunset, where we used to have Harbor Nights, the Tart Wars, the Kidsville. There's a lot that we can do as a community, and we just have to go for it.
When I was, back in the day, because I'm a washed up senator now, right? Visit St. Croix, visit St. Thomas, visit St. John. When I did my research, I saw that this address was actually owned by some man in Pennsylvania.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You familiar with that?
I know him. I have never met him in person, but I know of him.
Yeah. How we could modify that then, man? Because something fundamentally wrong with that, man. Don't get me wrong. People have the right, to get into property rights and all that stuff. But if you ain't live here, oh gosh, man.
Yeah.
We need to figure out how we could do that. If we want to sell packages and all that stuff, then we go through somebody in Pennsylvania. No, sir, something wrong with that, man.
Again, it's
Don't get me wrong. He had the vision to do it.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll say something that's not quite popular, but we have a hard time appreciating ourselves, right? As Virgin Islanders, it's easier to say, "Hey, we'll support someone stateside doing this," versus someone here doing it. So you have the struggle of Virgin Islanders who want to get into it, but not getting the support, right, of doing this. And it's I've talked a little bit before. It's a huge struggle, but we cannot give up. My motto is we have to keep going, because if not us, who? If not now, when? We got to keep going.
Don't forget Chanty, right? The Crucial Heritage.
Yep.
And
they do a
right?
great job of doing the tours in town. They walk by my office all the time, and it's great to see, what Frandel's been doing with the organization. Not just the tours, but the woodworking with the students upstairs in the building. They're doing a lot of great job. They're doing some renovations on, what's it, Hospital Street or Prince Street? They're renovating a couple of buildings.
Correct.
They had a grant for that. So it's great to see, again, this is the community coming together and saying, hey, let's look for opportunities. Just like you said, look for opportunities for funding, look for opportunities to make things happen, and we're doing it.
Well, I just, just Googling something here. We're going for a break. I see that the tourism department, they actually have a visit usvi.com website. So they've decided, they're gonna conquer the visit VI, visit St. Croix, which is good. Which is good. We're gonna make some claims, stake some claims. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So we're gonna be talking with Shamar Moore here from our town Frederickstead, talking about things that we could do to continue to promote the American Paradise. We'll be back right after this.
WTJX, your NPR station in the
The beauty of standing on 10 sleepless nights is they could play any kind of music.
Yeah.
And you could hear the Latin flavor in this one. You know what I'm saying? This is classic standing on 10 sleepless nights with our Puerto Rican heritage here on St. Croix. Yeah. You know, I was teasing Stanley. Well, Ejika. I said, Ejika, what you know about German? The German. He said, I learned that. I had to learn it. If you want to sing it, you know. You know, as someone who played the trumpet when I was younger, and you say you play the trombone, you know, to listen to Stanley and what he does with the flute.
Yeah.
It's really a magical experience every time you hear it. Yeah. And Edgy's a great singer. You know. People don't know. When he's saying good, great.
Yeah.
That voice that Edgy got, he been singing literally for donkey years, making beautiful music here in the Virgin Islands and throughout the world. And you know they're a Smithsonian institute.
Yeah, I've been
honoree. You know what I'm saying? The Folklife Festival.
Yep.
They got recognized way back, and then they actually had a picture there with Blinky as well, another legend from out of the West, the Roadmasters.
Yep.
So our Quebec music is second to none as far as I'm concerned. So this Tom Yadel, that's his name, the fellow who had the websites, right? The Visit St. Croix and St. Thomas and St. John.
Yes, I think that's his name.
Yeah. He, I'm not knocking him for being a visionary, but
No.
The reality is, Tom Yeagle Associates, right?
Yep.
And he, if
I heard he comes once in a while to visit.
Yeah, well, he should. But there's something about stories from a jurisdiction being told by those of the jurisdiction, right? One of my biggest issues is what's going to take place in another 9 years. And I was talking to Kathleen Dowling, and she wrote a book. She recently released a book. Matter of fact, she's actually making an appearance tonight before the Bar Association. And she wrote a book about emancipation and all that stuff. 2033 going to be 300 years from that 1733 rebellion in St. John.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? That story has to be told by us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No, I know that the sharks are circling. I could feel it already. You know what I'm saying? So these are things as a native Virgin Islander that we should really be proud about.
Yeah.
And be the ones, wanting to articulate what our forefathers and foremothers did to allow for us to live how we live in today, Shamari.
I mean, like I said, it's really a push, and I say each one teach one. We got to push more of us to get involved. I mean, in every facet of life, right? You think of a good example is, people love to drink, right? They love to talk rum this, cruise on rum, but how many of us really take the art of bartending seriously?
Mm-hmm.
So that when we have visitors and they come to the counter, you could tell a story about growing up in the Virgin Islands and your experiences. Not too many of us take that craft seriously. We have a handful. So we got to get really, more involved, and those are great opportunities.
You talk about the bartending class. A real class is taking molasses and making it into rum.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that skill, right?
Yeah.
That Hardy Nelthrop,
Yeah.
that distilling skill that that makes it,
Yeah.
The vintage,
Correct.
So spirit that is.
Correct. But if you're going, if we're going to sit here and say we love Cruise and Rum, or we love, Captain Morgan, we want to promote it and we want to push it, it requires more than just being a consumer of it, right?
Correct.
It reminds it's you got to become part of the industry.
Well, the internet got the generic 8 steps and all that stuff. But you go 8 steps, this all you want. You got to be inside of inside of that distillery, inside that room, that area, and perfecting it. It's like cooking.
Yeah.
The good cooks, right? They got a skill where they could watch food after X amount of years of cooking. They could watch food and say it needs something.
Yeah, and you could write that recipe 1,000 times.
Yes, sir. Until you actually go there and put in the time. You know what I'm saying? So it's something that we need to take it to that next educational level.
Yeah,
you check what I'm saying? Your grandma or your aunt or somebody might have teach you your father, because we got some tremendous male cooks here in St. Croix as well. But you go get it. You go get in the lab. Like they just say. You know what I'm saying?
And what you said with education, like, a lot of people confuse education with saying, oh, you got to go to college and you got to do that. But I think for me, education is simply being able to make informed decisions based on facts.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to think for yourself critically. Being able to read and write. And that does not necessarily mean going to college. You can go to trade school. You can go into the military.
Correct.
You could do a lot of stuff. Just be able to make informed decisions. Be able to, read and analyze information so that you can live a good life, But I think we need to push that more, right? Know who you are, know where you come from.
Well, what it would do also is it would bring, since we're talking about cooking and stuff, it would bring a greater appreciation for agriculture.
Yeah.
Right? And I had a farmer on last week, Friday. I had met him 2 Fridays before that, or 2 or 3 Fridays before that. And what had happened was I had dropped off my mother, and I was heading back up Center Line Road. I dropped off in Mount Pleasant. So now I'm driving on Center Line Road, heading east, and I get to the Lower Love area, and I see a farmer sitting down there in a chair with his produce on a table, waiting for people to pull up and stop.
Yeah.
And that was painful for me to watch. So it just so happened I was heading by Pueblo, and this particular farmer, Nat Williams, he was setting up. And I said, look, man, I just experienced something. What going on now with you can't walk, you know? He said, what do you mean? I said, look, we're in this internet world now where the folks who selling the goods, they're into the delivery business now. It ain't just about sitting down waiting for people to come to Ayo to buy Ayo thing. And he agreed with me. His thing is in its infancy. He had just get a land, and he said it's going to take you a good 2 years to get to where he could market this thing how he want. But how can we help the farmers get that produce out there? I know they got to want to help themselves as well. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But we still have an obligation, because it ain't just about getting them to sell, what they're harvesting. It's about our food security issue.
So I have an uncle, he's passed away now, but Henry Carter in Mumbiju. He owns about 50 acres. We used to go up there at least once, twice with my mom, my uncle to, get produce from him. And I noticed it back then. He would get up at 4 a.m, farm till morning, and then get in his truck and go out and sell. And farmers are still doing that. And I said, we got to change this so that they focus on what they do best, which is farming, and we find a way to...
That middle mile.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I've talked to a couple of people about this problem, and one of the things that we don't have here is we don't have a processing facility where, for example, you have mangoes that grow. And we may not sell all these mangoes, but before they go bad, you turn that into juice, you turn it into hot sauce.
But we actually passed
chutney.
that. We passed that, Myron Jackson. We passed that legislation in 2015, man.
We don't have it. And that's one of the things, whether it's your mangoes, your peppers, cucumbers, all of the stuff that we grow here.
Green peppers.
And then turn it into such an industry where we don't have every farmer planting the same thing. You may say, hey, you're going to do cucumbers and avocados. I'm going to do tomatoes and spinach. Somebody else going to do, corn and potatoes. We've got to start doing that. And, I've actually talked to the Agricultural Business Center, because I heard that they're interested in really working with these farmers to make this stuff happen. So I've been planning for this. I'm actually working on some technology side to really help them make this happen, because it's hard. I tip my hat to farmers when I see them get up early in the morning and they're out till late afternoon selling on the side of the road.
Bill 31.0055. Internet is really makes all of us look good.
No one should have excuses for not knowing information.
Yeah. Senator Myron D. Jackson is pleased to announce that his bill to study the benefits of having a full processing plant in the territory on Monday passed unanimously.
That's 9 years ago.
It's 9 years ago, man. You know what I'm saying? Almost 10. We close up to 10 years at 9. April 15, 2015, tax day 2015. Out to the Committee on Economic Development meeting and moved to the Committee on Rules and Judiciary in the Fritz Lawet's Legislative Hall in St. Croix. Remember that I been on that day there, man? We been on there, and, and he thank his colleagues and all that stuff. And these are... these are no-brainer type legislation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But again, this can't be on the government. It has
to do everything.
It has to be either completely private sector or a public-private partnership. John DeYoung was good at talking to public-private partnership. And whether it comes with, a government grant or low-interest loan, but a nonprofit or private organization that works on the processing, cleaning, packaging, and distributing these produce. And that's what's missing. Because you imagine you being a farmer, you can get up in the morning, you work from 4 to noon, you have the rest of your day off.
Yeah, man.
You either deliver your stuff to this processing center or somebody come pick it up. You have your day off. You have your day, you can get stuff done, go to the bank, go do whatever you got to do. And you're not working so hard, right? You're not trying to work a 16-hour day. You're not working an 8-hour day. And now it gets, it's an economic driver, because you have people who are now involved in the packaging and distribution of these goods. We can now, look into opportunities to sell to neighboring islands and, turn this into other products that we can sell, internationally. But it's a big picture thinking.
What I know is that Uber, Lyft, they just changed the game.
Yeah.
Right? And it's really about convenience.
Yeah.
And people willing to pay for it.
Yep.
And part of the convenience is you can't expect the farmer himself to do everything.
Correct.
You just talk about the man getting up at 4, farming till noon, right? He got to catch himself.
Yeah.
You can't expect he now to go home, shower, and then happy the truck now and got to. I mean, some will do it because it's about making money and they're willing to be relentless in selling what they produce. But we really need that, and that's where you have food, people delivering food and all that stuff.
And really in the planning too, because yes, a lot of restaurants buy local produce. Some of the grocery stores also buy local produce, but if they can really plan and say, hey, I know I have a steady supply of lettuce coming in, a steady supply of peppers or corn or cucumbers. Now we're growing from the single digits to the double digits in terms of what we consume locally.
Okay. I got an act number now. 7736. So we good. Act 70. So it's Act 7736. So now I could reach out to one of my senators and ask them what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, even if they
in terms of because funding is critical.
Correct.
You can't ignore that aspect.
Correct.
But everything ain't based on the need for funds. Sometimes we need some initiative.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, just like they did the TIF funding that brought Home Depot here.
Mm-hmm.
If we do something that says, hey, here is a grant and tax incentive for opening a processing center, right? We had somebody here who did a center for processing dry goods. So you take your tea leaves there and dry them and package them. EDA just bought a building on King Street in Fredericksburg that they're going to turn into a clean kitchen for doing something like this on a smaller scale for folks who want to cook and package their stuff. And then we have some Virgin Islanders, like the ladies from In the Mix. They have some space over at the industrial park where they're going to start packaging their cakes to ship out. So
that's what I'm talking about.
It's no longer just, you in your kitchen baking and so now you're going to be, I see it as them competing with like the Tortuga. You go to every airport, you got a little Tortuga, hexagon boxes. Now we're going to start seeing In the Mix boxes up there. So it's great to see businesses and, and people take this to the next level.
Well, we could legislate until the cows come home, like they say, right? You still need execution.
Yep.
Right? And it requires a commitment. And this fruit processing plant is interesting that you mentioned the processing aspect, which includes packaging.
Yeah.
Right? And how critical that is, because when you're talking about deliveries, deliverables. People are looking at how it's presented to them. It's like going to a restaurant. When you put a plate of food together, you can't get everything all over the place. You got to have it set up nice. When I'm done with it, it's going to be all over the place. You check what I'm saying?
But until then.
That's what we're talking about.
And we already have we have delivery companies here that are starting to pop up, the Boomerang guys. And it's just that piece before you get to them, right? How do we package this? How do we clean it? Make sure that we're not delivering, all produce. That was always my fear in the States of, doing the grocery deliveries, is that when it comes to produce and meat, how do you ensure that, they're picking the best? And, we found out they did.
Yeah, man. Hey, Shamari, thanks for joining us this week, man. I appreciate that. Next event, next week, Friday?
December 20th. Yeah. Rhythm of the Sunset, 6 o'clock in Fredericksburg on the waterfront. We're going to have a great time, for the holidays, right before Village opened up. So come down and join us, get involved, and, see Fredericksburg like you haven't seen it before.
That's what we're talking about. This is Shamari Moorhead from Our Tongue Fredericksburg. Thank you very much for joining us. Enjoy the weekend, and we'll be back right after this.